Hey guys, so we are going to, for math, do a quick review on multiplying a two-digit number by a one-digit number, and then you are going to do, you're going to work some problems, and I'm going to take a grade on it. So you'll need just a regular sheet of paper. It can be a plain piece of paper. It can be a notebook paper. I went ahead and I folded it. So I folded it in half. I have my paper horizontal. I fold it in half, and then I have my paper vertically, and I fold it in half again. So all that does, guys, it just makes 4 boxes. Okay? And the reason I'm doing that is just so we have room to work our problems. And so if you want to draw some lines, you can. Okay. And so I have 4 boxes. And so I'm just going to write some problems. So I'm going to do, for the first box, I want you to write, let's do 24 times 5. Okay. And kind of leave some space over here to the side. In the box next to that one, I want you to do let's do 42 times 6. Down at the bottom, I want you to do 31 times 7. Over here, I want you to do, let's do 16 times 9. Okay, so you have 4 problems. Okay, so remember, when we are doing multiplication, we are kind of doing it like we do addition and subtraction. We start in the ones and then we move to the tens. Okay, so it's very important that we line up our numbers correctly, because here's my tens, here's my ones. So we are going to start in the ones place. So I'm going to say 5 times 4. Okay, if you're having trouble with 5 times 4, you can come out here and you can draw 5 groups with 4 in them. Okay, or you can do the table. Okay, so we're going to be multiplying by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 5 is 20. So I'm counting by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so 4 times 5 is 20. Now, I cannot just put 20 down here. Okay, it's kind of like when we have to regroup in addition and subtraction. The zero is in my ones place. The 2 is in my 10. So I take that 2 and I put it at the top of the tens place. Okay. Then I have 5 times 2. So if you did the table, you already know that 5 times 2 is 10. Now, I have 10, but I have to add the 2. So I have 10, 11, 12. So 120. Okay, so some of you, when I was looking over the paper we did, where you had the 2 problems to practice, you weren't adding what you took over to the tens place. And some of you would do like a 2 and a 0. So you were getting those numbers mixed up. So remember, whatever's in the ones place goes down to the ones place. Whatever's in the tens place, we regroup to the tens place. Let's look at this one. 6 times 42. So we start in the ones place. 6 times 2. Guys, with 2s, you're counting by 2s, and when you count by 2s, you're pretty much doubling it. So 6 times 2 is 2 groups of 6, so I know that that's 12. So the 2 goes to the ones because it's in the ones place, and the 1 goes to the 10 because that's the tens place. Okay, now if you need to do the table, And we're counting by sixes. So 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3, so I'm going to add 6 to the 12, would be 18. 6 times 4, I know that 6 times 3 is 18. I'm going to add 6 more to this, and that gives me 24. Now, I'm not just going to put 24 down here because I carried a 1 to the tens place. So I have to add that. So I have 24 plus 1 gives me 25. So I have 252. 31 times 6, or 7, sorry. 7 times 31. So, just like we do, we start in the ones place. 7 times 1. We know that anything you multiply by 1 is going to be the same. So that is going to be 7. I don't have to regroup anything because I only have a 1. So if we need to know our multiples of 7, I have 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 2, that means I'm going to add 7, is going to be 14. 7 times 3, I add 7 to 14, that would be 21. So 217. Okay. 16 times 9, or 9 times 16. Okay. So before I do anything, I'm going to do my table. And 9s, guys, gets pretty hard. So I know that 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 2 is 18, because 9 plus 9 is 18. 9 times 3. So I'm going to add 9 to this. So I'm going to say 18 times 9, which would give me 27. 9 times 4, I'm going to take 27 and add 9 more. That would give me 36. If I add 9 to 36, that wouldn't be 9 times 5 would be 40. And then 9 times 6, I'm going to add 9 to the 40, which would give me 49. Okay, so I have 49. So I'm going to have to regroup. So the 9 is in the ones place, so I bring it down to the ones. The 4 is in the tens place, so I take it to the top of the tens. Okay, so 9 times 1 we know is 9, but look, I have 4 up here, so I need to add the 4 to the 9. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 139. Okay. And I know this is still going to be a little hard for some of us if we don't know our facts. And I know we haven't really talked about them until a couple weeks ago. So next week I'm going to show you a way that you can know your multiplication facts without having to do the table. It's basically just skip counting, and I'm going to show you how we can do it on a 100 chart. Real quick, I forgot. Your assignment is going to be, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 problems. Remember, these are written horizontally. You need to make them vertically. 24 times 6. 15 times 3. 32 times 7. 44 times 9. 90 times 2. 56 times 4. And then over here, if you need to draw the table to help you with your facts, you can. Okay? You don't have to if you don't need to. And then you have two multiplication word problems. Heidi made 8 batches of chocolate chip cookies. There are 24 cookies in each batch. How many cookies did Heidi make? Chris bought 8 boxes of crayons. Each box had 36 crayons in it. How many crayons does Chris have? Remember, when we write our problem vertically, we put the biggest number on the top. And make sure you're lining up the tens and ones. All right, guys.